Yes, villagers, today Congressman John Lewis was buried. He meant so much to so many people. I'm going to give you 4 takeaways that I received from his life. If you want to find out whether our takeaways are similar, you are in the right place. If you're new to this channel, welcome to our village. If you're a returning villager, welcome as well. So, let's get into it. Welcome to Garden of the Mind, where we reduce stress, improve our health and fitness, and improve our financial IQ every episode. We must believe more than we see. Congressman John Lewis has went home to be with the Lord, and we thank God for his 80 years of service here on this earth. He was the last living member to participate in the 1963 March on Washington. He walked over the Edmund Pettus Bridge on Bloody Sunday and literally had his skull fractured. He's been arrested over 40 times, been a congressman for over 30 years, but his life left us a great blueprint if we follow. So I'm going to give you 4 things that I received from this legend. Takeaway number 1. He fought for what it is that he believed. He said, get into good trouble, and that's exactly what his life was about, as getting into good trouble, finding out exactly what it was that he could change within the system and going and participating in it. He participated in sit-ins. He was arrested so many times. He spoke about the liberation of African American people. One of the things that he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, is he said, we don't want our freedom given out to us in small dosages. We want our freedom now. Tip number 2, advocacy is a life work. He did not rest on his laurels and say, well, I was a participant in the 1963 March on Washington. I walked with Dr. King. I was arrested X amount of times. He continued to work throughout the time that he was alive. Even up till his last few years, he was fighting against guns here in the country. He was fighting for gay rights. He wanted to hold this country accountable to the promises that it made. And he decided to do that his entire life. He didn't stop to pass the baton, nor did he stop and say, I'm tired. It's up to the younger generation to continue this. He kept going up until his dying day. That is so inspirational. There are so many of us that look towards retirement so that we can stop doing the work that we are doing. We look for a particular day and a particular time where we can say, okay, no more am I going to work. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life. Well, I'm sure he enjoyed his life. However, he made sure that he continued to work for us. And I'm so appreciative about that. Takeaway number 3, he saw something that was bigger than himself. He participated in the sit-ins. He participated in the march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Now, let me put that in context for you. When you were going to a sit-in, people did not want black people to sit at the counter. They would spit on them. They would pour food over their head. They would throw hot coffee and hot chocolate in their face. And they remained and kept their cool. Do you know how difficult that is? See, another thing is we know the end of these stories because he lived them. Had he not lived them, we would not know the end of these stories. When he was getting beat by the police over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, he didn't know whether he was going to live or die. We only know that he sustained a skull fracture, but he didn't know that at that time. So in order for him to continue to move on and continue to put himself in danger time after time after time, he had to see something far bigger than he was, and he was looking for the liberation of black people and all people who were not being treated by America at the time that he lived. Takeaway number 4, the intensity never died. One of the things that I was always struck by with Congressman John Lewis was his intensity. Whatever age he was always intense. So when he was 17, he was very intense. Up until the point that he was 80 years old, he was completely intense. So that fire never died. For him, the work had never stopped. So the intensity to get it done had not stopped either. And that's something I actually appreciated, because usually as people approach the twilight of their lives, usually their health fails them and sometimes their strength. Whether that was the case with him, you couldn't tell, because he was always very intense about exactly what it was that he believed. And he was known as the conscience of Congress. Do you know how hard you have to work to be considered the conscience of Congress? Wow, that is a life well lived. Rest in peace, Congressman John Lewis. We thank you for the blueprint that you have given to us, and you have let us know that we have to have that same fire towards changing things that we know need to be changed. I remember one of the quotes that you said was, if you see something that is unjust, then you have a moral duty to do something about it. So hopefully that continues to inspire us to fight for the changes that we see in this world, and not just what we merely complain about. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to know when I post, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, please click on that notification bell so you'll get a ding on your phone and you know that a new video is ready for you, and you'll be one of the first ones to know exactly what it is that we said here. And remember, thoughts are actions, words have power, and actions have consequences. I'll see you for our Wednesday portion. I'll see you then.